2nd of August 2025. Today we'll talk about stem from Israel. Israel is a country in the Middle East, in the southwest of Asia continent. She received her independence in 1948, 14 of May. The borders of Israel, Lebanon, and then Syria in the north, Egypt in the south, Jordan in the east, and Jordan is the border of Israel. And the west is it's the Middle East Mediterranean Sea. Geographical size of more than 22,000 acres, kilometers square, the size of Israel. Population is more than 10 million. Extraction of phosphate and tourism are the main source of income. The languages are four: Hebrew, Arabic, Russian, and English. They are the four languages formula. The capital city is the historic religion Jerusalem. Local coin is the new shekel. Israel is kind of a regime of parliament democracy. The biggest city is Jerusalem and also the capital. Israeli has the most low place on the world. It's the Dead Sea, 400 meters sea level. Today I will show you stamps from Israel. I will start with people. Those people helped to establish the country. We started with Eliezer ben Yehuda. He was the one who established the pioneers of the language, or that established the language in Israel, the Hebrew one, and renewed the language again. This is the Rav Kook, Rabbeinu Kook, Zichrono rest in peace. He was one of the most religious people that was compromised with the unreligious people and was one of the Zionist leaders in Israel. This is Amos Oz. He was a writer. He wrote a lot of books, and he was a publicist. He wrote about the peace, and he thought there will be. His idea was to have a peace agreement with the Palestinian. This is Chaim Guri. He was a writer and an author. He wrote a lot of songs and books also about the peace and life in Israel. This is Chaim Weizmann, the first president. He was a scientist also, and he helped to declare the Balfour Declaration with the British, and eventually was the first president of Israel. This is Herzl, Benjamin Theodor Herzl. He was the person who established and was the pioneers of the Zionist Congress and the Zionist movement, and he was the one who thought that Israel will be eventually independence. He thought about that and he dreamed about it. He was the prophet of that, if you could say, the prophet of the New Age. This is Ilan Ramon. He's a astronaut that died in the Columbia tragedy of the space shuttle Columbia. This is Anna Frank, the Jewish teenager that killed by the German Nazis in Holland after they discover her hide place. She wrote a diary, and her diary was published for more than 60 languages. This is Thomas Masaryk, one of the first leaders that agreed and acknowledged that Israel should have an independent country. This is the Rabbi Yitzhak Nissim. He was one from the great leaders of the religion movement. And this is Chaim Nachman Bialik. He was an author and a writer. and he write a lot of songs to children. Those are Rama Ferrier and Eda Sireni. They were women leaders in the Zionist movement, and they fight against the Nazis. This is Yaakov Dori. He was the first chief general staff of the IDF, the first one, the first general that was the commander of all the IDF, the first one. And this is Sheikh Amin Tarif, rest on peace, both of them. He was the leader of the Druze, and he has established with Chaim Weizmann and Ben Gurion that the Druze will be allies of Israel, and they will fight for Israel country all they could contribute to the country. This is Menachem Begin, the prime minister, rest on peace. He was the commander of the Etzel, the organization that fight against the British in order to get independence. This is Yitzhak Rabin, rest on peace, the minister that died, that killed by Israeli Jewish terrorists, and he was also making the peace agreement with the king Hussein, Jalalat Talalat al Hussein, the king of Jordan. Both of them rest on peace. He made the first agreement with Jordan. This is Shai Agnon. He was a writer. He born in Ukraine, and it's a stamp neutral to Ukraine and Israel. This is the Rabbi Maimon. He was also one of the great leaders in the religion movement. He wrote a lot of his Jewish books and about the law and the rules of the Torah, the Bible. This is Ilan Ramon. We speak about him, the astronaut that died. He was also a pilot. He was one of the pilot that bombed the nuclear facility in Iraq, and he died in the Columbia shuttle, space shuttle. And this is a memorial souvenir sheet for his to honor him. This is Manya Shochat. She was the leaders of the Shomer, the gardener. She died also in a fight again with the Arabs in order to protect the country. This is Eleanor Roosevelt, the wife of Roosevelt. She was a writer of human rights defender. Those are Syria about women leaders in the Israeli. I will not talk about each one. This is Ben Gurion, the first prime minister and the minister of defense of Israel, and one of the great Zionist leaders of Israel. This is Dizengoff Center, the first mayor of Tel Aviv. This is Golda Meir, the prime minister that was in the 70s that fight against Egypt. This is Ben Tzvi, the second president of Israel. This is Moshe Sharet, the second prime minister of Israel. This is Abba Hillel Silver. He was a Jewish Zionist in America, and he contributed a lot of money to Israel, and he was one of the big leaders of the Jewish community of United States. This is the Rambam, the Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon, one of the most biggest rabbi in all the generation of the Jew. He writes books about medicine, about law, about medicine, law, astronomia, astrologia, and a lot of books. His nickname is the Big Eagle because he knew he was a specialist in a lot of fields in the entire life. This is the Maran Ovadia Yosef, one of our big rabbis in our generation. He was the chief rabbi of the Spanish Jewish in Israel. This is Rav Baba Sali. He was also one of our great leaders of religion, one of the big Spanish rabbis. This is Rav Ariel Levin, who called the Rav of the prisoners. He used to visit all the prisoners before they died in the regime of the Mandat or the British Mandat in Israel. This is Rav Uziel, the first Spanish chief rabbi in Israel, the first one. This is the third president, Zalman Shazar, and this is Moshe Dayan. He was the defense minister in 1973, and this is Levi Eshkol, the fourth prime minister. This is a list of all the presidents who were in Israel. You have here beside Moshe Katsav that not appear here. This is Yitzhak Navon, Chaim Herzog, Chaim Weizmann, Shimon Peres, Ephraim Katzir, Shazar, and Weizmann, Ben Tzvi, and Weizmann, Chaim Weizmann. This is a stamp of snakes, very nice, a souvenir sheet. And these stamps of two in the Syria, the 20 years of diplomatic relationship with China. This is the first manager airplane that the Air Force industrial manufacture. This is the first newspaper, the Lebanon, 100 years to the journalist in Israel. This is a seals that was found in the entire archaeological places in Israel, seals of the kings that were in Jerusalem. This is the championship. This is a souvenir sheet of the championship of the chess that was the national championship chess that was in 2022. This is the second World War, the victory against the Nazis. It's a souvenir sheet of that. This is a souvenir sheet of El Al. Those synagogues around Jerusalem. This is the Iron Shield, Kippat Barzel, and cyber protect against hackers. This is souvenir sheet of Jerusalem, 3,000 years for city of David in Jerusalem. This is the castle, the Concord of Jerusalem in 1948. This is the house of the Rabbi Milubavitch in New York, in Kreinitz, in New York. This is air post places around Israel. Air post is a series of airplane around the places of Israel. This is a souvenir sheet of the in Hadassah Hospital. It's called the it's a windows, special windows in Hadassah Hospital. This is a series of Hanukkah of lamps, and this is a series of the Islamic Institute in Jerusalem. This is a Syria of the war independency, the first independency of Israel. This is also a series of lamps around all over the world. This is the exhibition in Tel Aviv in 1985, and this is the exhibition in Tel Aviv also in 1985. This is 100 years to Bnei Brak, the religion city in near Tel Aviv. This is again the house of the Rabbi Milubavitch. It's a souvenir sheet. It's in Kreinitz in New York, United States. These coins are the coins that symbol the second Syria of Israel, that symbolize the word of the second temple, and the wars of Bar Kuziva, the wars against the Romis. This is a souvenir sheet of fishes in the Red Sea in Eilat. This is symbols of the cities of Ramat Gan, Givatayim, Bnei Brak, and Bet She'an, the coat of arms of the cities of the symbolize of the cities of those cities. This is the four kind of the blessing we do in Sukkot: the Etrog, Adas, Lulav, and Arava. This is 50 years for the special units of the Yamam, the special forces of the Mishmar Gvul, the borders guards. This is a ship. It's ship with a missile. It's called the kind of the ship. It's called Reshef. This is a safari in Ramat Gan. The animals, the Ainoen, the lions, and the zebra. This is the judgment, Shimshon HaGibor, Samson, Bar Kuziva, and Judah the Maccabee. This is the market in Jerusalem. And those are yeshivat in New York. Yeshiva University, the Jewish Technological Seminary, and the Hebrew Union College, the yeshivat in New York. This is the Olympic Games on 2024. This is a souvenir sheet of the Yamam, the special forces of the Garden Coast. This is the four blessings that we bless in Sukkot: the Etrog, the Lulav, and the Arava. What we bless in Sukkot holiday, the square holiday. This is the Achula Park. This is the iron souvenir sheets. This is the lion souvenir sheet, and this is a zebra. This is all the animals that are in the zoo of Ramat Gan, the safari. We also have here the souvenir sheet for the new year of 2019. This is the flowers of the winter, the color of the mountain, the red, blue, argaman, purple, and blue, and green, and yellow charzit. This is the Gina, the community garden. The community garden, it's a souvenir sheet. This is the Mossad, 75 years to the Mossad. Mishteret Israel, the police of Israel. This is the comics for 100 years to the comics in Israel. The Laumit Clinic, 100 years. Voluntarity in Israel. This is a Syria for the museum in Jerusalem. This is the Nachal, it's the parachute, another parachute regiment beside the parachute regiment in the IDF, in the Israeli Defense Army. This is 60 years to the first flying in the space. This is in the Carmel, the park in the Carmel mountain. Those are very unique stamps. This is the Hebrew Post, and this is the Negev, and this is Petach Tikva founding the well. This is a souvenir sheet for to appreciate the forces of the medical treatment against the corona. All the doctors and the nurses and all the staff of the hospitals and the clinic that fight against the corona, the corona plague. This is Red Sea screwdiver in the Red Sea, and corals in the Red Sea. This is a souvenir of the coins that was in the third Syria of the Israel post in the independency. This is the Brigada. Brigada is the Jewish regiment that was fighting against the Nazis with the assistance of the British forces. Alpha Beta souvenir sheets. This is souvenir sheet of the birds in Israel. This is animals in Israel. This is succulentic plants in Israel and around the world. This is the park in the Arava near Elat with the animals that we have in the Arava. This is birds around the world. This is one souvenir sheet of Tel Aviv city without stop, without break. This is the day of the declaration of the injured people of the police and the other forces. It's dedicated to them for their fighting against the terrorists. It's dedicated to the forces of the police and the other forces and the injured, and it's give them respect. This is Netivei Ayalon. This is the company that make the country develop the country. This is dedicated to Tel Aviv, with love to Tel Aviv city. This is 50 years for the rebellions in the Dachau and in Auschwitz. This is the tomb of the prophet Yitro, the prophet of the Druze. This is ships from other ancient days. This souvenir sheet for Jerusalem. This is a chapel, helicopter of Cobra in the Air Force of Israel. This is for Jerusalem conquered, the gates of Jerusalem, all the seven gates. This is for Purim holiday, and this is Bezalel, the Academy of Art in Jerusalem. 70 years for the Bezalel Academy, and this is a series of the coat of art, the symbolize of the cities in Israel. You could see here. Tiberia, Eilat, Petach Tikva, Lud, Be'er Sheva, Nazrat, Eilat, Bet Shean, Tiberia, Tzfat, Mitzpe Ramon, Rishon, Dimona, Bnei Brak, Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, and Haifa. This is butterflies, series of butterflies, nice butterflies. This is the most trees that are in Israel. And this is the Declaration of Balfour. It's a souvenir sheet of the Declaration of Balfour. This is weapons that the industrial and the air industrial companies and the IDF industry and the army industrial making tank. This is tank Merkava 1 MK1. This is the ship, the missile ship of Reshef, and this is the airplane Kfir C2. This is an airplane Arava, one of the first manager airplanes that the air industrial made. This stamps called Klanstrop stamps. It's a special stamps. You see, they don't have teeth. They have different size of kind of shape. And at last but not least, the stone of the Choshen. It was the stone that the priest had in his belly to ask the God for an advice with God. The priest was asking God for religion question. This is Petach Tikva stamps. This is the flag stamps. This is the exhibition stamps in Jerusalem in 1953. And this is the lamp. Thank you very much. Babe, see you.